Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. And certainly want to warmly welcome you all to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you, you know what I'm going to say next. If you've been regulars watching, smash that like button. This helps support the channel and get this content out to more people. I really appreciate that. Love all the very kind comments and encouragement that you take the time to leave in the comment section below. Thank you so much for that. And all the questions, I do get back to those as quickly as possible. Okay, we're going to jump into the news and then we're going to jump into the charts. We have a very short news cycle today, and we're going to start off here with all the shorts that got liquidated at 60,000, 3.25 billion in shorts got liquidated there. Absolutely phenomenal there for the bulls and not so great for the bears, unfortunately. MicroStrategy bought 18,300 Bitcoin for $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. They now have 244,800 Bitcoin. Absolutely astonishing. And I will be sharing in the stocks show tomorrow about MicroStrategy and Coinbase. I had those on my cheat sheet as trades. They've started to move up. I gave entries on those, so hope you got in on those entries because they, as Bitcoin goes up, Coinbase and MicroStrategy will tend to follow there as well. Okay, and then also we have the hash ribbons indicated on the monthly time frame has flashed a buy signal, and it typically leads to a massive pump. Fasten your seatbelts. And we can see that whenever we've had that buy signal, Bitcoin has gone up. And so we'll see if history does often repeat, and I think it will in this case. But this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. This is just purely for education and entertainment purposes. Are you not entertained, says the great Maximus Decimus Meridius in the movie Gladiator there. Okay, and then we had some Bitcoin rally. Certainly, I think we could see a further rally to the upside here. In previous cycles, when the price retested the 50-week simple moving average, it bounced at least 40%. On average, the bounce was 71%. If Bitcoin rallied 71% here, it could reach $92,000. I'm going to look at the charts in just a moment. But one of the things I want to take a focus on the charts is the Bitcoin dominance, because it just had its highest daily close with cycle. And usually that would be bad news for the altcoins. However, if Bitcoin price goes up and Bitcoin dominance goes up, it's not necessarily bad news for the altcoins, because you then have to look at the USDT dominance, which is the stable coin dominance. And if that did that go up or that go down? Certainly, and you look at the total 3 market cap to see if that went up. And certainly we're seeing money flow both into Bitcoin, mostly Bitcoin, and then obviously because the dominance is going up, but we are seeing a trickle through into the altcoins. Okay, so we are going to jump in the charts. And here we have set now, the local low is, in my opinion, officially confirmed. And I'll tell you why that, because we had a drop down to here, to around 56, and we pumped up to around $59,000 up here on this candle, and now we've created a higher high on the daily from this candle here, and we've had a close here at the close here. Yeah, so we've now officially made a, as you can see here, right on this candle here. That's the one that we're looking for here. So we had a high of 60,625, which is higher than over here at 59,800. So again, I have correctly identified the local bottom. And I have correctly identified this local bottom in the last 3 months. Despite all the negative FUD on YouTube and Twitter, I am committed to bringing you the best alpha. I highly research these things, And for me, it was just a no-brainer. I gave the local bottom here. For those of you who got in on the trades on my cheat sheet, I gave entries, I gave exits. You would have made a lot of money. Again, I gave the local bottom here. I called it. I said this was the local bottom in my opinion, and it ended up being so. And just even yesterday, the day before, the day before that, the day before that, the day before that, you can watch all of my shows, and I've said that I felt that the local bottom here was likely in. And I never speak in definites, by the way, because I think it's irresponsible of me to do so. I always, because nothing is definite. I haven't jumped in Marty McFly's car and flown to the future. And so I can only speak in what I think is the most probable outcome and the most likely outcome. And I have constantly said it over these last 3 months that the bottom was most likely in, that my feeling that the bottom was in, and that was going to be proven to be the case, and that's exactly happened. Now, and we are above the 200 EMA on the daily, and if we retest, like we just showed in that slide before, if we retest this 50-day moving average, we've broken above both on here, and we come back and we take off, we're looking at, historically, it's been, 50, 60, 70% returns for that, which would take us all the way up to around, $80,000 to $90,000. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that we can't come back below the 200 EMA on the daily. Remember last year we went up and down and around, and we spent most of the time below the 200 EMA on the daily from July and through until October. And that also doesn't mean that we can't come down and set a new lower low than here, although I think that's less likely. I do think that's less likely. This now is a confirmed local low on the daily, and so that is done and dusted. For those of you who are thinking and talking and listening to all these Twitter and YouTubers that were telling you it was going to go down to 47 and 45 and 43, and while that was a possibility, I shared continual on this channel that was a very unlikely outcome. I was very strong about how I felt that was a very unlikely outcome. It was a possible outcome, but I just saw that as the last, the least likely out of all the outcomes. I had Bitcoin going to 70,000 before I had Bitcoin going down to 45, 47. And again, I've proven to be correct on this channel. And if you've been following my trades, you will have made a lot of money on this channel, because you would have got entries here, you would have accumulated here, and some altcoins, fortunately, are still in an accumulation phase. And so we will go into the altcoin show in a couple of hours, and I'll still show. I gave you the Potenza Tau trade yesterday, the day before, and the day before that. You had plenty of time to enter, as it absolutely parabolically took off to $326. I did actually lock in profits at it got to 327. It didn't quite get to the 330 price target there, and I did lock in some profits before then, because I'm not going to squibble about a couple of bucks there. Okay, so where are we heading now with Bitcoin? Well, here are the possible outcomes. Number one, a retest, and let's just quickly look at the 4 hour here, and let's have a look. So we're retesting the 50-day moving average right now on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so a successful retest from here and move up is therefore you could enter the trade. And right now, you could enter a long trade right here. You could enter a long trade right here on a successful retest. Right now, we don't have a successful retest. We're hitting it. We might break down below it. And if we break down below it, my feeling is we're going to have some retest as resistance. If we can break back above it and move on, then that's where you take the trade. However, a failure, if we do break below the 50-day moving average and we fail to break it back above it, then we will come back and retest here's a retest of the 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. If we switch back to the daily here, you can see that they're a little bit, we could also retest here first, obviously, the 200 EMA on the daily, and that could be a place to enter the trade there. Obviously, these two are very, very close. So if you are short-term trading, certainly be putting a stop loss there. But if you're a long-term trader, I think this is an okay area to accumulate Bitcoin. Historically, the 200 EMA on the daily has always been historically a good opportunity and a good place to buy in a bull market. Okay, in a bull market. Let me just give that there. And we also have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, a left shoulder, a right shoulder, a head, and then we have a right shoulder here that has also forming and could finish forming, and certainly we could have a breakout there of that inverse head and shoulders. Neckline for me looks like it's at about 65,000. So a break of 65,000 there. We've got the head, got the shoulder coming down, the head. But yeah, I would say 65,000 for me is going to be the big line in the sand. That's where we broke down from, around that $65,000 area. So if we can break above that, that's going to be mega bullish. Watch the break. And if you're a very conservative trader, a break and retest of 65,000 would end up being, I think, quite a good entry. That could catapult you all the way up to 75, 80, 90,000 from here. So certainly I'm very bullish on that $65,000 level. We certainly have some resistance here. Let's see if we can maintain this bullishness on the 4 hour here. I'm going to switch back to, if we can maintain this bullishness here, you can see we're struggling here with the 50-day moving average. We're probably just a little bit below it right now, okay? And so we've just peaked below it. We're testing it currently. So a successful retest and go from this level. Otherwise, I see, we got the 4 hour here, 200 EMA down is at 58,800. And we've got some order blocks for Lux Algo sitting around about that 57,500 to around the 58,500 level. And of course, on the daily, we have the 200 EMA sitting at 59,500. So even if we do come down here and lose and then retest, we could come back up the 50-day moving average and could break back through up here. Just watch these moving averages. Make sure you've got them added to your chart. I showed you how to add these things to your chart in my life-changing gains series. Go check them out. That's free videos in my cheat sheet, and I teach you how to identify. How did I identify these local bottoms, by the way? Okay, massive negative funding rates. That's just a big red flag that we are at a local bottom close to it. Open interest getting wiped out again. Also below the 200 EMA on the daily. We don't go very far below that. You can see we don't go very far below that here. We had huge amounts of buy orders around about that 50 to 52K level, which it came down and hit, and it just catapulted off that. It didn't even get to the bigger buy orders that were below that. So that was just and the fear and greed index was an extreme fear. And so these are just local bottom signals. And I teach this and I taught this in my life-changing gains series. If you watch those videos, I have a whole video on how to identify local tops and local bottoms. And certainly on the flip side of things, if the funding rates get super positive, then we're near a local top. If the fear and greed index gets to extreme greed, that's another local top signal there. And if open interest is peaking and at record highs or very much highs, then that's another local top indicator. And of course, there are other ones like if we arrive at all those and we happen to be at a massive trend line, that's a sell signal for me. Like up here, this was a sell signal for me. There, I was able to get out and profit there and sell. These were also sell signals. I mean, you just look how much money you could make in this market if you just sold this trend line and bought these other trend lines here. You can make money in this market by trading the ranges. You don't have to just buy and just sell on the way up, sell here and then sell here, and then like, oh no, I sold here. Now I've got to wait for Bitcoin to come back and break above this. No, you can swing trade it, buy back here, sell here, buy back here, sell here, buy back here. And obviously we're not going to be selling here because we're not be selling here or maybe selling some here as well. And this is why I really encourage the two-tier, the double trading strategy, which is having two separate portfolios, one for holding and one for swing trading. Because if you sold and took profits at 72, 73,000 on Bitcoin, if you're a hodler, how are you going to now take profits? You got to wait all that time until we get back above 73. But if you've got a separate portfolio with some separate money in a separate exchange, or some exchanges have two separate portfolios already in there, a two-tier system, otherwise have two separate exchanges, you can trade all those Bitcoin swings. You can sell there and then buy back and sell and buy. So every time it's got, we've come down to the high 40s, up to the 70s and back and up and back, and you can just trade all of those swings and make money while you're waiting for the bull market to resume. It's been 6 months or more of reaccumulation. We have been in the reaccumulation phase, and this is why I have my cheat sheet. It's linked below in the description. This is why I'm in the Discord. I'm in there daily with the most amazing community in all the world. You can sign up for the Discord. I give trades in there. We're engaging with people. We're interacting with people, and it's an incredible community. There are links below in the description. You can get signed up in the Discord as well, and I'm in there on a daily basis. And this is what I've been encouraging everybody. And I even like the 3-tier, the triple threat trading strategy, where there's a day trading strategy, and I have a video called my money printing method, and that's all about getting in multiple trades during the day, in and out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, as many times as you can make that trade to make money on the daily basis. And you got the swing trade, where it might take a few days for it to play out. Sometimes, like with the Tau trade, it took a few days. It sat there for a little bit and then it took off. Certainly, if you'd watched the video yesterday and if you'd got in the trade yesterday, you would be up around a good amount of money today. And I was able to take some profits on that Tau trade. But I also have a hodl bag of Tau, which I haven't even touched. It's just sitting there, and I'm waiting for it to hit some upper levels that are on my cheat sheet. And that's why I have two separate tabs on my cheat sheet. I have the hodl tab and I have the swing trade tab, which gives different entries and different price targets to the upside, so you can make money while you're waiting for your hodl bags to pump. Again, if you've not watched my life-changing gains series, it's free. It's free. A lot of people will charge for this stuff, but it's all free. It's on my YouTube channel. You don't have to go scour back through all the videos and look for it. I've put the videos on my cheat sheet under the educational resources tab, whatever I ended up calling it. It's there for you. It's available for you, because I want to help you be successful in this bull market and make money, and not get to the end where you're buying the top and selling the bottom. We've been buying the bottoms. We've been buying the local bottoms. We bought the local bottom in July. We bought the local bottom in August, and now we bought the local bottom in September. And yes, there could be some further downside here. Bitcoin, if we were to lose these levels, if there were to be some major news event or capitulation, which is of course possible, certainly we're coming back down to these levels. We have a lot of support there around that 57 level. If we were to any further down from that, and we're looking back around that 54 to 56 $1,000 level, and then if we were to look further down, we could come down and revisit that low 50s. Remember, there was a large order for Bitcoin sitting at around 49,900. I'm not sure if it's still there or not, if it's been moved, but certainly I would think that those that had the orders there would still be hoping that, just in case there's a wick, that it would be there. So certainly around this level here, coming down. But I think we're going to have a lower low than this? No, I don't think so, unless there's something major that comes out that's going to catapult us down for here. That's the local low right there at 52,000 and change right there. And just remember this, that the September low in a halving year has come in on the 2nd, and the 8th. And I did advise that if history repeat, that the low would be in before the 8th. Currently, the low is on September the 6th. So let's see if that holds. I think it's going to. Certainly, we'll see what happens and what shakes out from here. But certainly the local bottom is now confirmed on the daily time frame. We have created a higher high now on the daily time frame, and that is now confirmed. And certainly we'll see if we have a successful retest of this 50-day moving average. If we do, then we could then start to head up towards the 64 to 65K region, which would be a good place to take some profits and bank some profits in here. If you took the trades, if you've been following my trades and you've been getting in at these lower levels, these local bottoms, this can be a good little place to bank some profits and then take some more profits up here around the 69 to 70K region. Alrighty, we're going to leave it there. And again, thank you all for tuning in. And until the next episode, which is in a couple of hours, the Altcoin Show, happy trading.